Welcome to the Slow Home Studio. Today we're going to look at detailing in barn doors.
Yeah, and I love using barn doors in homes because they're a really great decorative opportunity and they're really a good thing to divide a couple of spaces, but there are some really important details to consider. Let's get right into it. This is a picture of an actual barn door. I mean, this is literally a barn door.
About as barn as you can get in a door.
Yeah, pretty simple. There's always a big slab, big heavy slab that moves against the wall, and then there's the hardware that supports it. And the hardware is usually pretty heavy duty because the door itself is heavy. It can be up to 500 pounds.
So the first decision is which side of the door do you mount the hardware on? Do you put it on the outside of the room so that you see the hardware and you see the door, or do you put it on the inside of the space? Here we've got a barn door with a more utilitarian type of hardware. This is actually what you would be using, and it's not particularly nice to see. So in many cases, we just put a valence around it like that.
Yeah, and this is an example from our work where we've designed a custom walnut door with a piece of glass in it to provide a little bit of view into the room, and it makes it a very decorative element. But there are some critical things that you have to consider in plan, and the first thing is the opening size. You have to make sure that there's enough travel distance on the wall to the side to accommodate the length of the door.
If not, you can have you're going to either have the barn door sticking out past or not opening entirely. That's very true. The other issue that you have to look at from a geometry is the opening. Is comparing the opening with the size of the door slab itself. We recommend a minimum of 3 inches on either side of the opening for the door to prevent any sort of unwanted views in.
Yeah, and I have to say there's nothing worse than having a barn door that's too small for the opening. It looks really cheap and unfinished. So the other issue, of course, is the track. And the tracks are usually not particularly attractive. They're very heavy duty. So we often use a valence. In this case, we put an MDF valence over the track. You have to make sure that there's enough blocking in the wall to support the track and the weight of the door.
And then finally, we just want to make sure that you put a stopper or a guide on the bottom of the door so that it prevents it from swinging back and forth when you move it.
So barn door is a great thing to have in your home, but there's a few really critical details that you have to pay attention to.
See you next time.